Assalamu alaikum everyone. So after our beef short ribs that will fall off the bone, I had put a rub on it. And the ask was, can I put the recipe for that rub? So that rub recipe is actually a gradual recipe that I use for many other cuts of meat. So today I'm actually going to cover that concept in a little more detail. As you can see here, at the bottom here, I have all of the spices that I like to use. I'll go through each of those spices right now. As we're going through those spices, we'll gradually mix up our rub for each of the cuts of meat that we make. Also in this recipe, what's interesting is I've actually divided everything into 1 part and half part. So it's easy for everybody to remember. So you can use it as half or 1 tablespoon if you're making a mediocre size. If you're using something very small, you can use teaspoons, or you can use cups if you're making a big batch. So without further ado, I'm actually going to go straight into our first rub mix, which is the simple salt and pepper. For any rub, it's best to utilize what you have laying around the house in order to maximize that. So we need something to put all of our rub in. So I'm actually going to be using our just a bowl. And then I also have a mixer that I've sort of delabeled. You can use this mixer. If you can see, it comes out on top. You can add any amount of rub in it. It has the ability for you to add a lot or a little bit. So you're able to apply that rub using a bottle like this. So let's get started. What I'm going to do now is put up our salt and our pepper, and we'll start off with equal amounts. And we're using a bowl like this because the need here is for us to be able to utilize and shake the rub as it's in. So first of all, we'll add our salt. I'm just going to use my fingers because it's much easier. And then we're going to use coarse black pepper. And this rub is equal portion, 1 of each, as you can see here. And the idea here is, as you're using it, as you're applying it on your mix, it sort of gives it the nice balance of salt and pepper. Typically, on top of that, what I like to do is add some celery seeds. This is perfect for steak on the grill. But if I'm using a charcoal grill, then I like to put some celery seeds on it as well. So we're gonna go ahead and add our celery seeds. And celery seeds sort of not only give it a salt and a pepper, they give it a nice herb flavor, which is very important for any of our meat cuts. So go ahead and give it a nice rub. You can see that it gives it salty, it gives it peppery, and it gives it a bit of an herby flavor. A lot of people just apply this straight on a brisket as well. The celery seeds actually help give it the nice char on top as well. So this is good for even steaks cooked on charcoal or also brisket. So that's going to be sort of our base. Then on top of that, what we like to add is something for your slow cooked meat. So if you're doing something like a pulled beef or pulled chicken, you can go ahead and then add the rest of the ingredients. So we're going to add the single part here of garlic. We're going to add a single part of, in this case, onion powder, and a single part here of ginger powder. So all those 3 things combined, along with half a part of red chili powder and about half a part of coriander powder. So that rub really is, it has more pepper, it has chili, it has a little more flavor from the coriander seeds or coriander, ground coriander. And when you apply that, you can do that very easily on something like a pulled beef or pulled chicken if you're trying to make something like that. Slow cooked, something where the flavoring really needs to cook itself as well, and this is great for that. And then last but not least, for anything that needs a glaze on top, right? So if you're trying to add glaze on top, it's best to then add brown sugar. And that's why we have about half part of brown sugar that we're gonna add. And this goes really well with ribs, because with the ribs, you need that nice shiny glaze. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that brown sugar. And at any point in time, guys, you can actually go ahead, give it a taste as you're going through this process, you can, give it a taste and see if there's anything that you like to do more or less of. And the reason why I say that is, while this is a generic sort of recipe, every chili powder box that you take out might have some different composition. So it might be more spicy, so you might want to add more brown sugar. So you can add that according to your taste. So here, one thing that's left is smoked paprika. And smoked paprika is something that I've left aside for a reason. If you are creating this rub, it's best to add it at this point because it gives it a nice smoky flavor. It's good for ribs, it's good for smoking the meat. But at the same time, you could have even replaced it with, in this case, red chili powder if you don't like it spicy at all. So I'm going to go ahead and add that because it adds more flavor, and you'll see the color of the rub change completely as we add that paprika powder. So here, once we do that, you're noticing that the rub is getting, red and bright in color in total. And that's where the idea here is for us to make sure that we're, using all of those components in a way where it gives it not only the perfect taste, but also the perfect color for our meat. So, that's it, guys. This is our rub. I applied this on the ribs that we cooked the other day. They were a big hit. So give it a try. Let me know in the comments below if you are trying any of these rubs, and if you like that gradual process of building your own rub, you don't really need to go out there and buy any of the ones that are in the box. Now, when it comes to a container like this, you can easily pour this in, give it a nice shake, and you can apply this on any of your meat, and it gives it an even coating all over your meat. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments below, and then have yourself a great day. I'll go through each of those spices right now. And then, so we take in equal ounces of salt and pepper. If it's a little more sweet, you want to add more, more of the, in this case, 1 second. Yeah, so from a brown sugar perspective, yeah, so, कहाँ था मैं? नहीं तो दिखा रहे हैं तो बंदा समझ नहीं आती ना क्या बोल रहे हैं, मैं समझा कुछ लगा हुआ मुंह पे.